And guys, I have finally arrived my destination. So I'm going roadside shopping, and as the name implies, these are basically gardens on the roadside, literally on the side of the road. This is, or shall I say, used to be the cheapest source of getting plants in Nigeria, because these guys, their plants are pretty much grown outdoors, sometimes in derelict conditions, they're exposed to all the elements. It does have its fair share of advantages and also disadvantages. We're going to get to that in this video. The first garden I visited, they have a lot of stuff. It's the largest garden in this area. And guys, I was low-key regretting wearing shorts because mosquitoes were on a rampage biting my legs. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I was so tempted to buy this alocasia. I quickly came to my senses. Also this one, but it looked quite questionable. I want to bring your attention to this golden pothos are just growing aggressively outdoors, exposed to the elements. Like, anytime I come here, I'm always amazed by it. I always like to take a picture around it. I think this is some form of tomatophyllum, and I was actually really tempted to get it. Look at the inflorescence. So amazing, guys. I was tempted to get it, but I quickly came to my senses because I was like, hey, Buka, you don't have a car. And these Uber guys are gonna frustrate you if you carry these big plants in their cars. So some other random stuff here, just a mixed bag of everything. I did see this yummy looking monsteras. It's so tricky to grow monsteras outdoors and have them looking yummy without being damaged by the Nigerian sun. So I'll give the grower that. I spotted a rabbit's foot fern. Unfortunately, it wasn't for sale. You can see all those flies are hovering around. That's what you get sometimes when you shop from the roadside. This is the most common fern you will find in Nigeria. Like, it's very hardy for our weather. I'm not sure what these palms are. I'm not too conversant with palms. I don't really like them, but they were really expensive. These are bat lilies. I find them really interesting. Their foliage is just very gothic. If my garden wasn't so harsh and hot, I probably would have grown these. I have come a long time. Happy New Year. In this next roadside garden, I found these really interesting looking ferns. I've literally never seen them before in my life, but they are really expensive. 160,000 naira. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And look, babes, I will never not take a video or a picture of a plumeria flower. I love them. I certainly wasn't kidding when I told you these gardens were on the roadside, literally on the highway, guys. I spotted a very interesting variegated avocado tree. The grower said he doesn't know how the variegation just popped up, and he's trying to encourage it to spread across the plant. I almost bought this plant, guys. In fact, just watch the end of this video to see the plants I bought. They were quite problematic. I was shocked when I heard the price of this. This is a whopping 80,000 naira. I was honestly shocked. I know it's a type of alocasia longiloba, but the price honestly threw me off guard. And I just want to show you guys, this is a money tree that is in the ground. Sometimes we forget that some of these houseplants are actual trees, shade providing trees. Remember I said in one of my videos that this needs a lot more light than a lot of people realize. A philodendron boilermax just growing in the wild is always such a beautiful sight. Like when they attain this bushy look, amazing. In this nursery, they had a lot of sago palms. Sago palms are used as landscaping plants in Nigeria. They take our crazy intense heat, but they aren't cheap. They aren't cheap. I remember the girls were telling me that there was a time they had a massive infestation of like a virus or a bug, and it was spreading across their sago palm stock and just caused a lot of damage. I think things have stabilized a bit. I hope so. Anyways, these are Norfolk pines. When I see some of you guys growing this indoors, I'm actually quite shocked because they are landscaping trees here. Look at that cute pothos that's growing on that stump. I also spotted some variegated princess palms or lady palms. I think that's what they are called. This garden also had like this amazing ancient specimen of Euphobia. It cost a lot. I think she was saying over 300,000 naira. But it is actually worth it because she's had this for over 15 years according to her. If I had the money, if I was a rich girlie of society, honestly, this would have been going home with me. I love it. Now this is to prove to y'all that this Strandescantia I talked about in my latest video is not an indoor plant. Look at it growing on the ground, outdoors, in the full sun. This next nursery was a bit more shaded, so it had some of your more conventional house plants. There was a plant here that actually caught my attention. You guys are going to see it in a bit, but it's the fullest and luscious specimen of this Sigma glottis I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was really tempted to buy this. You guys are going to have to watch the end of this video to know if I got this plant or not, but I was actually very tempted. Now I spotted something gross. This is the shaded skin of a snake. That is the disadvantage of shopping from these outdoor roadside gardens. At this venture, please babes, make sure you subscribe because I was sweating underneath the hot sun to record this video. Sweating underneath the hot sun and dodging snakes. Subscribe. This other garden, this is another garden. This one is extremely shaded. She has lots of trees, so she grows lots of yummy, like indoor friendly plants. Babes, this calathea was entering my eye. I may or may not have bought this calathea, but you can't blame me. It was a gorgeous specimen and I was really, really tempted. Shopping in this roadside garden sometimes will give you an idea of what plants work best for indoor or shaded space and for outdoor hellfire conditions in our weather, because these ones are unshaded. That Norfolk pine, you can also see a costus there as well, all unshaded, all fully exposed to the Nigerian sun. So back to this calathea. So I was quite intrigued by this one. I had not seen it before and I was tempted to have it. I was also tempted to get this peace lily. I know I have slandered peace lilies a lot, but this was an interesting looking one I haven't really seen. I was tempted. Speaking of plants I haven't seen, look at this. What is this, guys? This is a philodendron. I have not seen this before. Is it a philodendron gigantean? She wasn't even selling it. It was just colossal and a magnificent sight to behold. At this point, it was getting really hot and I was dehydrated, so I got myself a snack. This is African cherry, African star apple actually. It's indigenous to Nigeria. So you give it a good wash, then you bite into it. The juice can be quite tart and citrusy, but the flesh can also be really soft and sweet. It's one of my favorite fruits and very high in vitamin C. I will tell you here though that I couldn't resist not buying this hibiscus. For my outdoor hellfire garden, I bought it. I bought it, but I'm gonna let you guys know what other plants I bought. They were quite questionable. I'm back home, guys, and you guys are probably gonna think I'm crazy. You're gonna think I'm crazy because every single plant I bought is a problematic plant. It's all the plants I've been warning you guys about on this page. I don't know what came over me. I just bought them, but hear me out. I have my reasons, and honestly, I'm gonna convince you as I reveal these plants. I have a strategy on how to tackle them, okay? So just listen to me, hear me out before you cuss me out, okay? So the first plant I got was a Sigma glottis. I do not know how to ever pronounce the name of this plant, but guys, this was the most gorgeous and lush and yummy looking specimen I have ever seen in my life. It wasn't cheap. By Nigerian standards, this was about 40,000 naira. It wasn't cheap by Nigerian standards. It might be cheap for some of you girlies overseas, but for a third world nation citizen, it certainly wasn't cheap. But I feel it was honestly worth it given how lush and full it is. This plant, I know this plant is a spider mite magnet. I know it is. She's notorious for breeding spider mites. I know she's not exactly the easiest plant. This is very needy. She loves to be constantly moist. But this time around, I'm doing things very differently, guys. I spoke to the grower and he offered some amazing advice. Some of these roadside growers are actually like OG plant veterans. Like they've been in this stuff for decades. So their advice is honestly gold. So he said, keep it in a cool, completely shaded area. I think where I place it in my veranda is like the perfect fit. And he also said, under no circumstances should you give this plant direct sunlight. Again, the veranda again. And then his soil, I'm not going to change his soil. Yeah, I know soil from this roadside, guys, can be extremely questionable. I've seen questionable looking eggs inside it, and sometimes it's just pretty much mud. But I'm not changing the soil with this one because the plant absolutely loves it. The plant seems to love it. He added lots of manure, like it's essentially just a pool of cow dung inside that soil. Lots of manure and also lots and lots of dead leaves. And he told me that is honestly what these guys like. So I'm just gonna leave her as she is and just always ensure that babe is hydrated. Trust me, babes, I know what I'm doing. This time around it's gonna turn out right. Please just keep in your prayers in case it doesn't. Also, one thing I've greatly learned is, especially as I've matured in gardening, is if a plant is doing well in a soil, even though the soil looks questionable to you, leave that plant in it. You don't have to be a smart aleck all the time. I'm speaking to you, my fellow millennials. You don't have to always change the soil of a plant into your own mix, your own chunky mix. Sometimes that terrible soil it's in is what it likes. Yeah, this next one, you guys are probably gonna like roll your eyes and laugh at me because this is a plant I slander every 5 minutes on this page. It's a peace lily. But babes, please, can you blame me? This is such a unique and ultra rare variant for us in this part of the world. It's a peace lily domino. I just couldn't say no. Honestly, I was literally begging the grower because she didn't want to sell this. She said this grows painfully slowly and she wants to propagate it and separate it, get puffs from it. And I was like, babes, please just give me a price and I will buy this. This was about 20,000 naira, which again is a lot. Prices on the roadside have honestly just gone crazy. They've gone bonkers. Shopping from the roadside used to be like the cheapest source. Like if you are a Nigerian on a budget, you just go to the roadside to shop. Like literally 2 years ago with 20,000 naira, I could easily have bought all the plants I'm gonna show you. Now, just one of this 20k. It's like, it's sad, but cost of living, inflation is real. So my hack to actually keep a peace lily peaceful, because this is not a peaceful plant, they're so thirsty and can be dramatic when they're thirsty, is actually to grow this in a pot that doesn't have any drainage holes. Some of you actually advised me when you heard me lamenting about them that I should just try to grow them in a pot that doesn't have any drainage holes. That is the hack. That is what I'm doing with this guy here. So yes, let's hope this ends up working and I don't end up killing the plant as a result. Keep me in your prayers. Okay, so this next one, okay, I low-key haven't always slandered these guys. Well, maybe I have. They have a reputation for being extremely problematic, but I do love them. They are beautiful. I got a calathea, guys. Yeah, I'll be your clown. But can you blame me? Look at this beautiful babe now. Look at her. She's beautiful. Oh my god. This is a calathea medallion and I've actually had this calathea before. Mine was a cute looking beautiful specimen and it did well during the rainy season. So the issue I've had with calatheas is I used to have a lot. I used to be calathea grain legend, they always do so well for me during the rainy season, and then during the dry season when things become very hot, they would just decline and die. And that's because I've always grown them outdoors, right? But now I have a better indoor setup. I now have access to grow lights, cheap grow lights, but they seem to be effective, you know. And I'm going to be growing, in fact, not just this calathea, but also this peace lily indoors, where the weather conditions are less, you know, harsh, and I can control them. So babe, I strongly believe now that I have a better indoor setup, I can successfully grow this. Like I'm convinced. I feel like where I placed her, she's just gonna love it and she's gonna thrive, and you know, she's not going to be subjected to this evil Nigerian heat and sun. Yes. So when it comes to these guys, roadside soil may be absolutely rubbish, but these guys love it. These guys love it. Every single calathea that I've had and I've kept alive for a while is not growing in my porous, chunky soil. It's growing in roadside soil. They love this type of soil. So I didn't change her soil. It's extremely heavy. But they love it. As you can see, she's doing great, and she's also even flowering. I did see some snails on her, but I've sprayed her down with a systemic, and hopefully that should get rid of any other snail that is there. Okay, but yeah, the last one I got was, oh god, this roadside soil is so heavy, guys. The last one I got was actually the least problematic. I got it as an indoor decorative plant. So in my living room, there was this corner that had a whale-themed snake plant. She was cute, but I just wanted something that had a bit more height and also something that was drought tolerant and indoor friendly. So I got myself a Dracaena. You can never go wrong with Dracaenas indoors. I don't exactly know what Dracaena this one is, but I've been eyeing her for a while, and honestly, I just believe she's a perfect fit. Like, I'm gonna let you guys be the judge. Did you guys think the Sansevieria that was there before was better, or is the Dracaena better? I think Dracaena is better, but let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, I got her. I wanted something a bit taller, but then I saw a taller one, and this guy, the price he was giving me was honestly, it was 50,000 naira, which again is a lot for us in Nigeria. It's a lot. So I was like, no thanks, let me manage this small one. Yeah, I got that, and I'm actually happy with it. And yeah, I'm actually low-key happy with every single plant I got. I was shocked by the prices. I'm like, girl, plant shopping in Nigeria is no longer, you have to be well off to a certain extent to shop for plants, and it's low-key sad, but it is what it is. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as usual, if you did subscribe. This video was, can you see how I'm sweating? I was under the hot sun being fried just to make this video. So please subscribe to the channel. Okay, and I'll see you guys in the next one.